I come from a long line of Eastern alum. Both my parents went to Eastern. They're both educators. They both got their bachelor's and their master's from Eastern.
I originally went to college for public health and epidemiology, but when I got into that, I realized I loved the history of medicine in that field rather than the applied sciences. So after I took a break, decided to come back to college, I knew that I wanted to pursue history.
My great-grandfather was one of the first, I think, classes to go to Eastern when it was known as the Cheney Normal School.
I wanted to be a history teacher, and I figured Eastern was in a good spot where I would have plenty of opportunities to student teach.
It just seemed right. You know, I had a ton of family that came here and enjoyed their experience, and when I went on campus, it just felt like home.
I felt like it was really supportive. The faculty and the staff, I feel like, are amazing at Eastern.
I was really nervous when I first came to Eastern because I had done sort of this non-traditional four-year path, and so I was really worried. But they were wonderful. The professors, the other students I met, everybody just welcomed me, supported me, and really helped me in that way.
Eastern's a really good school. You get to know your professors really well, which is not something you get at a lot of bigger universities.
Really all of the professors in the history department I enjoyed, and I took classes with almost every one of them.
In general, the culture at Eastern is diverse and reflective of the world that we live in, meaning that both non-traditional students being older generation students, younger students coming together in a classroom. I think it's really important to be able to see yourself represented in the school that you're attending, and I think Eastern does a really great job of that.
So as an undergraduate, I focused a lot on, well, education classes, childhood psychology, things like that, and then world history. So ancient Greece, Mesopotamia, Egypt, that sort of thing, because I was more interested in that.
I got a job as a historical research assistant working with the Eastern Regional Branch of the Washington State Archives, and I worked on the Hanford Downwinders archive with them to put together an event night showcasing that archive.
In terms of my legal education, history really assisted that process. History taught me how to research and write really well, and write in a way that is understandable to, you know, a large group of people. In that way, history was super beneficial going into law school.
In terms of opportunities opened up, I think just being a history major is what got me my job here on campus, being a public history person. Having an education background got me internships at the Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture, where I was a tour guide for a few years.
You have access to one of the state-of-the-art digital archive facilities in the country and even in the world. And so if you're interested in doing that kind of work, you have a sort of laboratory where you can get an internship and get trained on that.
I am going to grad school for museum sciences. I'm going to the University of Glasgow, Scotland, starting this fall.
I work for the Washington State Archives. I work in the main branch in Olympia.
I'm hoping to pursue a career in museum sciences.
But I'm really excited that I've been able to create a career in history for myself right here in Spokane.
After attending Eastern, I went to Gonzaga University School of Law, where I earned my legal degree. I am currently a family law attorney here in Spokane, Washington.
If you're looking for a supportive community, I think Eastern is a good place to look.
You can create an experience for yourself at Eastern that's just as meaningful as a university that costs twice as much.
For students considering Eastern as their school of choice, I would suggest that they attend Eastern because it's a great community, there's a great culture on campus, and there's a lot of value that you can get while you're here at Eastern, making great connections with your professors that you will have for the rest of your life.